What's up?
Jamel, this is a big year for you. It's a contract year. How do you approach it? Do you look at that and use that as motivation, or do you just try to forget about it and just go out there and play football?
I use it as motivation because I'm treating it as if this could be my last year probably ever playing football again. So I can't take anything for granted. So I just got to give it my all.
Is it different than past? I mean, did you not have that mentality a year ago or anything like that, or is that something new for this year?
I did towards like the second half of the season, but this year it's like, yeah, now it's for real now. So I just got to improve my game just so I could just end this year off a good note.
You guys have obviously the top three back at corner from last year, and obviously health was a big part of last season for all three of you. Where do you think you guys can make the biggest stride stepping forward as a cornerback group this year?
Mainly just taking the offseason serious enough to like get our body prepared for the season, and also just improve my game mentally, going back to what we did wrong and how can we get better. Just going into this next year.
What are some of the things that Coach Ross is emphasizing in your room?
Well, mainly just more like just the mental aspect of the game, because now we've been in the same system for going on 4 years now, so we should have like a good understanding like how we're being attacked and what's all the adjustments and what everybody's doing on the field, so we just know exactly how to maneuver in the field.
Jamel, in general, maybe not necessarily today, but in general, there's been a lot of veterans at the OTAs, a lot more than what people expected. What do you attribute that to?
I feel like, it's just we got a new head coach now, so it's basically getting a feel for like how it's going to be going into the season. And also mainly a lot of players want to work their craft, because we haven't had OTAs since probably my rookie year, since 2019. So now it's just like we missing out on all them extra reps that we could have used to get better. But so going into the season, we want to be at least fine-tune our stuff, so it's just not, all right, we're taking it week by week, but every game matters.
How is Todd Bowles, the head coach, different than Todd Bowles, the defensive coordinator?
Well, to me, it's the same, because I still get the same treatment. So,
Which is what?
I get the sarcasm, get them always up my butt. So it's no different for me.
Jamel, you guys played a big role on defense and coming back in the second half of that Rams game. You guys were still on the field, though, when Stafford hit Cup for that big pass to kind of end that comeback. Does that taste in your mouth still linger from that game? Have you gotten over it?
Nah, I still haven't gotten over it. Like, I use that as fuel for next season, because I didn't like going out like that. Because that game was just too emotional for me. You had your lows, you had your highs, and then when I had expectation of actually going to overtime, and then it didn't happen, so now it was like a really like rough feeling for me. So, I mean, it's not as bad, it's not as fresh as it was, but that feeling's still there. That we just left that much meat on the bone.
What is it about the Rams and the Saints? Those two teams seem to have your number. Rams beat you 3 times in a row. Saints 7 times outside of the playoff game.
I really don't know. I just think that when we play those two teams, like, we just get so emotional towards them that we just don't play our game. So we just get undisciplined and just start making like costly mistakes. Because when you play those games, it's all about who makes the least amount of mistakes, and then we just get so emotional because it feels like a rival game. So they just keep their composure, and we just lose ours.
You circle that game on the schedule because you also play the Rams again this year, and the Saints are in the division, of course.
I mean, you have to circle those games because those games are always the hostile games for us. I mean, every game is a hostile one, but that game there, you got to have it.
Your coverage really improved over the second half of last season when you get healthy. Is the one thing missing from your game the lack of interceptions? You've had a couple key picks in your career here, but I'm sure you'd love to get some more.
Yeah, that's probably like I really been lacking the interceptions, because 1 or 2 a season, that's not even enough compared to players that getting like 5 to 11. So I always want to be like in the top category in that. So that's why I got to improve my mental aspect in the game and take advantage of the and that's why I've been taking advantage of all the OTA reps I can get, just to try to perfect my craft.
As someone who goes up against him, how does it look like Kyle Trask is progressing to you as a defensive back?
I feel like he's gaining more confidence in himself. Because from last year to this year, like you can see, like he just made a huge jump as if he's getting an understanding of the game, a more feel for it. So as time goes on, I feel like he's going to like just continue to get better.
Jamel, you've known Carlton a long time, going back to your Auburn days.
High school.
Yeah, high school. What was it like to see his hard work paid off in the form of that contract extension?
I told her I was happy for him, man. I honestly could have cried for it. That's how happy I was, because I seen like the whole grind from high school to college to NFL. Like it's inspiration for me, because I like seeing you doing it. I know it's I'm capable of doing it too.
Yes. Yeah, what's your thoughts on the new cornerback, Zion Collins?
He's a smart guy, very instinctive. I like him. He's very versatile. So I know like he's gonna be a key player for us later on, when the time for the season start.
It's kind of a bit of a battle royale for the wide receiver spots here behind Mike, Chris, and Russell, obviously.
Yeah.
Anybody standing out there, whether it's a newcomer or whether it's some guys?
Really, all of them coming along, because they all have their own style of play. So it's beneficial for us, because give us the different looks, a different type of receiver styles, because we may never know what kind of receiver we're going to go against. So it's very beneficial for us.
He hasn't been out there yet because I guess he's dinged up. But your thoughts on getting Russell Gage from the Falcons?
I feel like he's gonna be a great player for us, because I've been knowing him since college too, and then ever since he got to the Falcons, I've been keeping up with him, and I've been trying to tell the coaches like, hey, this guy's good. Like you don't know his name yet, but he's good. And then like over the years, like his name started to like ring bells. So I try to tell you.
When he was a free agent, you say something to Bulls like you might want to get this guy?
Nah, I didn't. Honestly, once we hit free agency, man, my football was just so far behind my mind. I wasn't even thinking about it. I was just trying to enjoy the off season.
Another War Eagle question for you. KJ Britt, what have you seen from him in his second year out there running the show?
Ooh, I feel like he's gotten like a lot smarter now, because you can see like he's very instinctive. He know what he's doing. So I'm happy to see him like to improve like in the way he is right now, because it's like you can see the confidence in him that he's knowing his stuff, making the calls, and you see him get on a couple of players about, hey man, you need to do your job. Okay, you taking the leadership role.